I wasn't the competitor that's gonna like get, mad or angry or lose my cool or whatever. But it would bother me if I lost.
Oh yeah.
I would probably go pout for a minute and then go back and practice. Like, that's not happening again.
Yeah. What was college life like? How did that? Did you succeed? Did you win any tournaments?
What were we talking about? Just in sports?
We're talking about golf. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The school,
took me 6 or 7 years to graduate, so I don't know what success looks like there. But I got a degree. They say you can only be great at 2 things.
Yeah.
And I chose social and golf. I sponsored the North Texas PGA Section Championship. I maxed out our credit card, and at least everybody picked box A. They're like, I could buy 12 or 18 hats from this kid.
Yeah.
And so we wrote 53 orders, 54 orders for about $43,000.
Look at that.
In about an hour. I'm probably saying too much, but yeah, that's.
We were just kidding about all that stuff we just talked about. That's not there. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Blueprint. Today I've got Taylor Artman. Taylor Artman is CEO and founder of Surf and Turf Golf. He's got a really cool story about, just how he brought a bunch of guys together and then something kind of exploded in his lap. So let's hear it. Hey guys, if you can do me a favor, just make sure you hit that subscribe button at the bottom. That's really going to help us put out more of these, and we'll grow this and see who we can bring on. If you know somebody, shoot me a DM and tell me who they are. I love you. Taylor, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So the new studio, you're like number 2 in the new studio. It's cool.
It's awesome. I love it. As soon as I pulled up, I saw the sign out front, and I was like, this is some pretty neat property. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. 111-year-old. Thank you. 111-year-old building. So we're really glad just to be a part of like the lineage of what this thing was. And it's kind of cool if you think about like how many hands have actually worked in this building and done things. It's like we're just another step along the way, but it's cool to be a part of it, right?
Yeah.
So
I grew up in a small town, so I've always had kind of I've been drawn to buildings like this and old main streets, downtowns. Yeah. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, speaking of old towns, like where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Norman, Oklahoma.
Norman. Uh-oh, here it is. Boom, 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 boom.
Home of the Sooners. I didn't go to OU, though. Went to Oklahoma City University. But, yeah, grew up in Norman. Most of my family is from there originally. I've got a lot of family from Texas. And then, we've kind of dispersed out. I live in Arlington, Fort Worth area now.
Okay.
My sister's in McKinney. My brother's in Denver. But we still go back. We've got season tickets to OU games and stuff. So
that's nice.
Yeah, that town will never die to me. It's always gonna be home.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm 5 generations from East Texas. Yeah. Same town. But I didn't go to UT either. But I grew up watching it, and I don't know. It's kind of once it gets in your blood, that kind of stuff just kind of. It's there forever, right? 100%. Can't walk away from it. Yeah. So 100%. I went to art school, so we didn't have any football team. So
I mean, I played golf in college, and so people give me a hard time, like, you didn't even go to OU. It's like, well, I would have, and I grew up there. It's like, I've supported the program. I think I've paid in my dues.
Yeah. So, that's cool.
Yeah. I can say I'm honorable alumni, I guess.
Yeah. I've been grandfathered in.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, so you grew up there. Like, what was family like, for you?
So my family's, I think, a really great family to grow up in. My parents are still happily married. They're 75 now.
Oh, nice.
And then my brother and sister are a lot older than me. So I'm kind of an old soul a little bit. I think I've figured out as I got older. I'm drawn to people older than me usually versus younger. Yeah. I think because my siblings are older than me, I'm the youngest one. And so family life was good. My grandpa, he was a teacher at OU, a professor at OU, Spanish.
Okay.
And then my great-grandma also worked at OU.
Okay.
So we got a long line of Sooners there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. So you, so as you were growing up, you said that you played golf in college. Like, at what age did you get a stick in your hand?
So when I was about 3 years old, my dad would take me out to the golf course, and he'd pretty much carry his clubs on one shoulder and he'd carry me on the other one.
Yeah.
And he was good about just letting me introduce myself to the game.
Yeah.
And so he'd have me, just out there around the game, and I would either take it seriously one day, I guess, from what I've been told, or the next day I was probably playing in the sand trap, And so, I think I just kind of enjoyed it. I used to always be around it. We'd go fishing on the golf course. We'd go search for golf balls, whatever we would do.
Yeah.
He kind of made it fun for me.
Well, that's cool.
And so I remember as a kid, it was a little different time back then, though. My parents or my grandpa would drop me off at the course, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
At like 9 a.m. and pick me up at 5. And there'd be another, little posse of kids out there too.
Yeah.
And that was our daycare. You know, I don't know if you can do that anymore.
No, probably not. There's a van with candy somewhere out there somewhere looking at that.
But I think that really introduced me to the game in a healthy way. And I just was put out there and I just had to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it worked.
So were you caddying or anything, or you just played all day?
I just played all day. But we didn't always play. We'd go to the pool. We'd mess around. We'd play cards in the locker room. We were kids.
So it was a country club type place.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
It's a small country club called the Trails in Norman is where I grew up. And then I've actually been a member of every course in town at some point in my life, or worked at every course in town.
Yeah.
But the Trails was, I would say, the one that I started at.
As your hometown.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I still see buddies now. We're all pushing 40 or whatever, but I'll see them around, and we've got lifelong connections because we'd be out there from age 8 to 15 messing around out there. So
any of the other guys that you grew up with go to college to play?
Yeah, there was quite a few actually.
Okay.
I'd probably say about, I'd say if there was 15 kids out there in our little circle, I'd say easily 5 or 6 of them went on to play college golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a little crew out there, right?
Yeah, we had a good game. I'd put Edmond, Oklahoma above us, but I think Norman is probably the second best golf town in Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Or Jinx, Tulsa's pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a bunch of good players come out of Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a barbecue tour player back in the day, and went up and played a lot of sandbagger tournaments up in Oklahoma. That's a different game, man. You gotta hit the ball low, or you gotta hit it high, depending on which way the wind's blowing. Right?
That's true. It is very windy up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very similar here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So they dropped you off. You got into that. At what level did you think, man, maybe I'm going to start pushing off into this a little harder?
I kind of knew pretty early.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say when I was a junior golfer, maybe about age 10 or 11, I was winning most of the stuff I would play in.
Okay.
Or at least finishing second or third or something. And then, and I just kind of progressed at that. I would say I was always one of the top players in the state from 11 all the way through recruiting into college.
Okay.
And so I knew that I was going to go play in college. And then obviously my goal was to go play professionally from there. And then had a pretty good college career too, and said, okay, let's give this a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, were you a lessons guy, or were you somebody who was like, I'm a gut guy?
Yeah, definitely the second one.
Yeah. I mean, there's two types of golfers, right?
For sure.
There's the ones that always are like, tell me about, am I in the slot, and where's my elbow at, and what RPMs do I have on this, and it's like, what's my launch angle? There's some of those details that are really good to know, but
there's a point to it.
And then there's the other guy who's on the other side that says just point me to the first tee and let's go. It's like,
I'm definitely the second guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very creative minded, as far as how I would see shots. And so the fundamentals, I had, I guess, decent fundamentals, from just a binary standpoint of my alignment was good and this or that, and but as far as repeating the same shots over and over or anything like that, I don't see straight shots or straight lines. I always had to carve it, hit a cut or hit a draw. But I'm left-handed, so I think that's my right brain that's thinking that way. And so whereas so many players I know are, really in sync with their mechanics.
Yeah.
I didn't see it that way. No. I more had fun with it. I'm like, how much could I draw this in there?
Yeah.
And so
I've cut one half of the course off. I'm a draw player every time. So much to my friends are like, okay, Tom Lehman, let's get up here and let's see your little hook over here you're going to hit. So, but it's funny. You've always been able to hit the ball both ways.
Yeah, I think that I predominantly played a draw.
Okay.
But actually under pressure, I like to hit a cut. So it's kind of weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. And with irons, I like to hit a draw. With driver, I like to hit a cut. And so I don't know. It's just how I see the shots.
Right.
But I don't hit it straight that often. It seems like it's always curving one way or the other.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like, who's that? Bubba Watson?
Very similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think Mickelson was like that. I think it's a left-handed thing.
Yeah.
I just don't think we see straight shots.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well,
or
cool.
I'd always try to hit high, low. I don't know. Yeah. I had to do something. I couldn't just, I don't know. And maybe that was to my detriment at times. Probably why I was kind of streaky at times.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. But hey, I wouldn't change it. I had fun.
Yeah. So when you started growing up, you started finding out that you were better, 10, 11, whatever. Did your parents push you at all towards this?
I'd say my dad pushed me probably harder than my mom as far as competitive golf went.
Yeah.
But neither one of them, I would say they more they were more very encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember I almost quit when I was about 16. My mom, like came in and wrote a sign on my mirror, said never, never, never give up. That's kind of our thing now. I even have a paperweight on my desk she gave me. And so, through hard times, they didn't drive me to burn out ever, but they also didn't let me quit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Or get down.
Yeah.
And so they would push me if I needed to be pushed, and then they would allow me to pursue it in my own way.
Yeah.
The most of the time. But I grew up, for whatever reason, pretty, I guess, self-disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to just my performance or my competitiveness, not so much in school.
Yeah.
But in sports, you didn't have to persuade me to go practice at something.
Yeah.
Even when I was playing basketball, I'd be the kid that's shooting, to the wee hours in the morning. And the neighbors like, quit dribbling the ball out there.
Quit banging the ball around.
And so I don't know. I was always just driven to just practice, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I'm a little brother too, right?
Yeah.
And I think some of that comes from this. Like I've always told everybody, like, I don't want to sound braggadocious. I don't know anyone that's more competitive than I am. I'm sure there's people just as competitive. But as a little brother, I would play you, and I'm never going to give you a dub. Like if you have the chance if you're going to beat me, you're going to beat me, and it's everything I got.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to earn it.
You got to earn it every single time because I had my head smashed in the ground so many times, right? And so I just don't give someone a free dub, right? But if you do beat me, I'm going to play you 10,000 times in a row until I do catch one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Do you think that's little brother mentality, or where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. My brother, he was very good athlete too. He played professional rugby, actually. But he's a lot older than me, so we didn't play like head to head, like a lot of siblings do that are 1 or 2 years apart.
Yeah.
But I had a friend circle that was very competitive that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And so, and I kind of had two kind of friends. I had like my regular neighborhood, friends I'd play basketball and football with or whatever. And then I had my golf friends, the kids at the golf course.
Yeah.
And so I think I always had those guys to push me, at different levels and things like that. And so, I wasn't the competitor that's going to like get, mad or angry or lose my cool or whatever. But it would bother me if I lost.
Oh yeah.
I would probably go pout for a minute and then go back and practice. Like, that's not happening again. Yeah. I remember in golf, I definitely had a lot of that. You'd see me at the course all day after I performed badly. I would, I'd go practice it out of my system, if you will.
When you're on the course, are you jovial or are you locked in? Are you less friendly on the course?
It depends.
Okay.
I would say when I was competing, I'd say a good mix of zoned in. I wouldn't be quite as conversational as I am, like in day-to-day life. But I wouldn't be like, like silent, or whatever.
Yeah.
I would kind of, but I had a fine line. I would back off shots. I would call people out if they're bothering me or whatever. So I kind of, teetered on both sides of the fence, I'd say.
Had a little edge to you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I'd say my confidence would probably edge to cocky at some points.
Okay.
But I think that I stayed pretty calm, demeanored.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You what's the low score all time?
That's a good question. So 61 is my low official score, I'd say, but I've got 58 unofficially.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
tell me the unofficial story.
So the unofficial story. So we're playing a men's league that was 9 holes in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I let's see, we were playing the front 9.
Mm-hmm.
And so we knew we were going to play 9 holes before that, right? And so we went ahead and played 18 holes before that, but we played 9 at like noon. And then we took a break during lunch, and then we went back out to time our back 9 to where right as we got done, we'd play the league 9.
Yeah.
So we had a gambling game that was going from 9-1 to 9-2, but we knew intentionally that 9-2 and 9-3 were going to be also back to back. And so I shot, I think 34, 29, 29.
Wow.
And so I knew that it counted in my mind because on the third 9 in the league 9, the guys I'm playing with knew I was 9 under, 10 under, 11 under, 12 under. And then I was, down the stretch, I was like, I might shoot in the 50s. And I was nervous.
Yeah.
And so that's the only proof I needed personally.
Yeah.
Was I knew I was putting for a 58 at the end.
That's wild.
And, yeah. But it technically has an asterisk because I played 3 9s that day.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, that's pretty impressive. Do you know the percentages of golfers in the U.S. By handicap? Have you ever looked at this?
I have. It's surprising.
It's crazy.
It is.
Give me a breakdown of what your perception of this is.
So my perception is still probably wrong.
Okay.
Even when I go back and look at it, I'm like, I thought it was right? I mean, I think it's like 10% can break 90.
Yeah. That's like
Something
really
like
crazy.
That. That blows my mind.
Yeah. Most of the world is like over 100.
Yeah. And it's like 50% shoot over 100, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like a huge chunk shoots between 90 and 100.
Yep.
Like 95.
Yep.
And so I don't know. That blows my mind. I would have thought 10% breaks 80.
Yeah.
A third breaks 90.
Yeah.
The majority would break 110.
Yep.
No, it's like way up there.
Way up there, right?
And that's everybody cheating.
When people dropping stuff on the ground and kicking and
nobody's actually playing the real rules.
Which is wild. Or hit one out of bounds and they go drop it up where it's at instead of coming back to the tee. I mean, there's so much stuff, but and then the percentage of people who shoot in the 70s.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like it's a 0.00 and then some numbers.
Yeah.
But people who can shoot underneath, under par, it's like
1% of 1% or something.
It's crazy.
10%
it's
of 1%.
bananas.
Yeah.
I say all this to say the number of people that have shot in the 50s in their life. I mean, that's got to be like pie length.
Yeah, there can't be many.
No,
I'd say under a couple thousand, maybe.
I want to look it up. After this, I'm going to see if I can put a comment in the bottom of this. But people that have shot in the 50s in their life it's a handful, you know? So congratulations for that, unofficially.
Wasn't the hardest course, but
who cares?
I still did it.
Who cares, man?
I can't do it anymore. That's how hard it was.
Yeah, but there's a point in time.
I'm lucky shooting the 60s these days.
Well, hey, there's a whole lot of people would love to do that.
Yeah.
Like 99.99% of the world would love to do that right now.
If I can shoot 69 these days, I'm happy.
Well, surely.
That's a great round of golf.
Yeah.
Even if I can shoot 72, I'm usually not too mad. I don't practice anymore.
Who are you playing with these days that you would be not real happy if you shot 69?
Who would I be?
Or what level of competition are you playing against on the regular right now where you're like, dude, 69 wasn't that great today, man. I lost.
It had to be an easy course. And then that's kind of been the hard part, I think, so going from professional golf and competitive golf my whole life into now being a business owner, I kind of lost my friends a little bit. I used to play in all these money games, all these competitive games, all these pro golfers. I had a circle of all these pro golfers. They're still my friends. We still call each other. But, so many have either made it. We probably never play golf again. They're on the PGA Tour. And then other guys are like me. They're in the business world. So we're just not playing in those circles anymore. And so now it's kind of weird because I don't always find competitive games that well because I can't go play with my tour buddies anymore. They're going to drum me and just take all my money. And then the average person
doesn't want to play against you.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's too many strokes, or it's just not quite the same competitive.
Yep.
And so I do have some friends. I've got a cousin who is a college teammate of mine as well. We just played a member guest. Yeah, he'd probably be, like a rival of mine now. Yeah. 'Cause we're both in the working world now. And so we could both shoot 82 or 67. Okay. Depending on how we play. Yep. And so we kind of go back and forth. And so we just teamed up last week, but I don't have that many. We played good, actually. Yeah. I think we were 36 under best ball. Okay. For 7 matches of 9 holes. And we finished tied for 3rd, missed the money. Sandbagging is out there. I mean, I don't even know if it's sandbagging. I think our handicaps were too low. Yeah. For how much we play these days. Yeah. But we played up to it. Yeah. If you would have told me we were going to, we'd birdie over half the holes together, I would have signed the dotted line right then. Yeah, exactly. We still lost. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, didn't lose by much. It was competitive, but it was fun. I've actually enjoyed it. I've played 2 member guests this year, and that's been a blast.
A really cool thing that one of my clients is X Golf. They're like a simulator based. And then, and so you bring in all types of people to play against, right? And for most golf courses in general, when they're doing tournaments, it's all handicap based, right? I've been scratched in my life. I'm probably 5 or 6 handicap now, right? That's still too much. When you look at half the people you play against and you give up 1 or 2 strokes a hole.
Yeah.
Bro.
It's tough.
You got to shoot, you got to have a birdie on almost every hole, you're going to lose. Right. How do you feel about the handy? Because what you just said a minute ago made me think of all of these games and stuff and how you really, because you are kind of like, between you and me is kind of a bad zone to be in.
It is tough.
Because there's all these people and then there's the sharks out there. Right. I don't even want to put myself in your class, but like you're on the bottom end and I'm on the top end. But at the other side of that, it's like, it's a bad spot to be in.
It's tough. I mean, we played, I think Sam and I both made an eagle in 9 holes the other day in this member guest, and we didn't win either hole. And it's like, what do we got to do here? Yeah. And so, like, I think giving up pops, you have to have it. I don't know how else you would do it. Yeah. But then there's a flip side to that. We had Conrad Schindler, who's a buddy of mine that played mini tours forever with, and then he played on the PGA Tour for, I don't know, 6 years maybe. And he just recently left. But he had to give Sam and I 2 shots in 9 holes because he's a +5 and we're +3s or whatever it was. And so it's like, man, that's tough too. You got to, like we used to play for a living, and it's only 9 holes. And so if we go shoot 1 under, he's got to shoot 4 under to beat us. Yeah, that's tough.
It is tough, right? And so, like, I don't know, like I don't know. I think about that all the time, like handicap base, and because I love the competition part of it and making it fair for everybody, and also not just stepping on people because you can, right? Like, I can see from their perspective how it wouldn't be fun either. There just needs to be some type of like percentage of a stroke or something like that, because someone can't have an 18 handicap and expect to play really poorly and still win. Yeah.
I wish they would do more half strokes.
Half strokes.
Yeah. So if I tie the guy, he beats me. Yeah. Right. But if I beat him, if I make a birdie and he makes a par on an easy hole, it just makes it tough. Because then when a guy's got to make a par, I have to make an eagle to win, a birdie to tie. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I'd rather give up half a strokes on every hole than 9 full strokes, I think. Yeah. And, so that way it's like every time you tie, you beat me. Yeah. I don't know. I wish they would do that more, but I never see that in formats. Yeah.
I played in a tournament the other day and it was literally me against this other guy. And I gave up 2 strokes on every hole except for 2. And I gave up 1 stroke on those holes. And I was like going, I don't even know where you go from this. You know what I mean? It's like the math is just out of control.
When you're giving people 2 shots, they just have to have 1 good shot. They're going to make a bogey. Yeah. It's like, okay, nice birdie.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. So anyway, so you got into the competition side of it. As you've gone into school, like you played through high school, you were pretty good. You said you were ranked really highly. And you're like, I'm going to go ahead and push this out. You said cocky started to take over. You know.
I mean, I say cocky just because I think that I probably have crossed that line before and I've learned lessons. Yeah. But I don't think I went too far. I didn't get too carried away. Okay. But I've always been a pretty confident person.
Yeah.
And so, I went into high school. I was all state. I won an AJGA before, which was a big win.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got my name out there on the radar.
Yep.
Won our state junior amateur in Oklahoma. I'd say Kevin Tway was probably the best player in our state. And then there was a handful of us that were right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was proud of my high school career and amateur career then.
Yeah.
Junior golf.
Yeah.
I didn't play nationally as much as some of these kids.
Yeah.
And that's just tough. It's expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and and coming from Oklahoma versus I think living in Florida or California. I don't know. For whatever reason, I saw so many more kids from Californias and Floridas, or even Texas that were playing on those national events.
Yeah.
And the Oklahomans, I don't feel like that we were really, I guess, put in that position quite as much.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw a lot of underrated golf come out of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That peaked in college or in professional golf,
Mm-hmm.
or under recruited.
Yeah.
Because we didn't play in those big events. And there's several on the PGA Tour now.
Yeah.
That I think were under recruited.
Yeah. Honestly, like when I said earlier about the wind, playing in Oklahoma, having to hit it high one way and low the other, you play in Perkett in the, let's say you play in Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Like the fairways are large, the grass is in really great shape, you're dealing with heat, but that's about it. You play in Oklahoma, you got wind in your face and it's significant, and you got wind with you, and you got to learn how to control those. You got to hit a high and you got to hit a low. And most everybody else, when the conditions aren't as strong as what they are in Oklahoma, they don't have to deal with that every day. So it is a bonus for you guys to have to go through that struggle. Obviously you're not going to have the courses that they have.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you are dealing with something that they're not, which puts another thing in your bag.
I agree completely. I think you see so many good players at Oklahoma and Texas because they learn how to play in different kinds of grass.
Mm-hmm.
People don't think about it, but if you're from North Texas up to the Oklahoma-Kansas border, you would go play Bermuda greens. You could play Bermuda greens on Tuesday and bent greens on Wednesday.
Yep.
Right? And back and forth and back and forth. And then you've got also a different kind of rough. I think being able to chip and play out of Bermuda here, especially dormant Bermuda, really helps. And then the conditions, certainly. I mean, you can play in every season of weather in one day in Oklahoma. And I know that's like a joke, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why you see so many good players. I mean, Scheffler's number one in the world from Dallas, right? Spieth, and then all these Oklahoma players. I mean, you look at Taylor Gooch, and even guys that aren't from Oklahoma, but they played college golf in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Your Ricky Fowlers, Rian Gibson, who played Oklahoma, Christian, Josh Creel. You got so many players that played in college golf in Oklahoma that I think that they just learned how to get in the hole, and no matter what the conditions are.
Yeah. Scrappers.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Max McGreevy's a great player out of Oklahoma. Gotterup just won twice this year, I think, or something like that. Yeah. He's a lot younger, but there's so many good players coming out of Oklahoma.
Yeah. What do they say? Up and down out of a trash can?
Yeah.
There's a lot of that, around those places because the wind is blowing you around, and you gotta figure out how to be nifty, around the greens and stuff. So
yeah, there is.
Yeah, 100%. So you went to college. What was college life like? How did that? Did you succeed? Did you win any tournaments?
What were we talking about? Just in sports?
We're talking about golf. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The school,
took me 6 or 7 years to graduate, so I don't know what success looks like there. But I got a degree. So, I went to Oklahoma City University. I played good. I wasn't our best player, but I was a very steady player. I played top 5 the majority of my career, and then was a honorable mention All-American one year, and then All-American and national all-tournament team my senior year. And so, I think it was all-conference, all-tournament, and All-American my senior year. So I was happy with how that ended. We had some great teams. We're NAIA, so we weren't D1 like OU and OSU. But I would put us, our teams and our alumni up with most programs for sure. I had a great coach, Kyle Blazer. I want to say he's one of the youngest Hall of Famers ever in golf, especially Golf Coaches Association of America. And he was great to play for. we had a bunch of international guys or transfers. You know, I had teammates that transferred from Texas Tech, from OU. You know, a lot of guys that started D1 transferred to come play small ball. And yeah, I had a great career, great time. I loved college. I partied a lot, but I loved it.
You got everything out of it.
I did. They say what you can only be great at two things.
Yeah.
And I chose social and golf.
Yeah. What's the movie Dazed and Confused? The older I get, they stay the same. And you're like 27, 28 years old, still in college and enjoying yourself.
I didn't go to my own graduation because I was like, there's freshmen. What I thought were freshmen are graduating.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit like Van Wilder there for a minute.
Yeah. 100%. Well, that's cool. So coming out of high school, before you got into that college, were you recruited? And if you were recruited higher or weren't, was it due to grades? Is that why you didn't get to where you wanted to go? Or what was the holdback? Because you said D1.
Yeah.
Right? And most people judge success based upon the grade levels that they go through. And you and I both know that that's not necessarily how it goes, but there's always something else in there.
My grades were okay in high school. I think it was like a 3 point something, 3.1 or so. So it wasn't really the grades. I was committed to Kansas State, actually. That was who I committed to going into my senior year, who I was going to play for. There was a guy named Robert Streb, who's a friend of mine, that was a couple years older, and he was already on the team there. So their coach recruited me, and then he recruited another kid at some point. It's actually another guy that I'd played against and really liked the kid. But he had to split our scholarships, and so I chose to go play for full tuition elsewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well, that's cool.
Yep. So I was recruited by where I was recruited by and where I ended up playing are two different things.
Yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. There's always something in the mix because in the shuffle, there's a lot of things that go into it. From coaching to grades to finance to everything. Right. Yeah.
So I actually went to a school, Northeastern State in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I had a few high school teammates there, a couple other guys that I knew from growing up were on the team there. And I kind of fell in love with the team there. And so I went and signed there, but I didn't make it very long. I quit. I transferred out that next year.
Okay.
To Oklahoma City University. Actually to OU and then Oklahoma City University.
Okay. So that ends up, you're done with college and you're thinking, I'm taking this to the next level, or are you thinking like I'm going to hustle people on the course? Like what's the next step? I
knew I was going to play pro golf probably entering my, I'd say junior year of college. It was my dream my whole life, but I knew that I could compete in that back half of college golf, knowing that, okay, here I won at the junior level and high school level. And made to, kind of top of my class, I guess, if you will. And then here I was starting to come into my own in college and at the amateur level. And I was like, if I can be, top 5 or 10 in the country at this level, then surely I can, translate that into money at some point.
Yeah.
And so, I knew that right away. And then I turned pro right after my eligibility ran out.
Okay.
With my co-captain teammate, actually. And so, we went to our first tournament in Arkansas, like I think a week or two after nationals. So we couldn't wait any longer.
What is the definition of going pro mean? Because I mean, there is if you make money, you're pro,
sure.
Right? So there's that definition. And there's the definition of I've made the Korn Ferry or I've made the PGA, or like what level did we start to work up to? Like you immediately jumped out and you're like, what?
Anybody can go pro, pretty much. I mean, because golf does have some loose terminology there.
Correct.
And so I would say, so take that or leave it however you want to. But I think it's going into the professional ranks, earning some sort of status is your first step, and then getting out there. And so I never played on the big show on the PGA Tour. Highest I ever played was PGA Tour Canada.
Okay.
And so
still very cool.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. But that's
still very cool.
I did well enough to continue after it for 7 years, but I did poorly enough that nobody knows who I am. So, and then, so I don't regret it at all. It was great. And it led me to my business. And so that's one part. I can go back in time and play over shots, over tournaments. I wish I could have done this or that.
Do you do that?
I have before. There's a couple, but that get to me a little bit.
Still to today?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And I wish I would have had a surgery about 5 years before I had it. Because I was really coming into my own, I think in my 6th or 7th year. I was just playing very consistent. And I wasn't a world beater, but I was going to get in the hole, and I was playing very, very steady. And so, and my short game was really good at that point. But I was very hurt. And so that was kind of, I look back on that. But honestly, I think, I'm a man of God, and I think that God sent me a message that my purpose in golf, in this industry, it needs to come in another way. And I don't regret anything on that. I think I departed the game the way I was supposed to, and when I was supposed to. I played 7 years. That was respectable enough, and I played in so many places. I moved to California, which is where we started Surf and Turf. Met networks of friends out there. I went and, tried to play in world tours, Canada. I went down to Latin America, to South Africa. And so I met people in all walks of life, off the course and on the course. And so I think that I played long enough to really earn a respect in the industry. But then I played short enough, and I exited the game for a reason that allows me to probably actually have a bigger purpose in golf than I would have had as a player ever. I watch buddies of mine that are still on tour. And hanging it up in their 40s now or whatever. And, I think, well, they made it to me. And then, now they're now entering the working world. And it's like, I thought that was making it, or whatever. And so I don't know what I was chasing when I look back exactly. I think Scheffler had a great speech this year. I forget when it was, but it was before or after one of the majors. And it was like, he's won all these tournaments, and he's like, it doesn't change who I am, or whatever. I thought it was pretty eye opening to hear that. And so, I think it segued perfectly in my life. I think God had a plan that when I got hurt, it was kind of ironic because I get hurt in 2017. I've been hurt since 2012. But I had my surgery in the end of 17, and then I get healthy again come summer of 18. But during that 7, 8, 9 months or whatever, I learned how much time was in the day when you're not playing golf all day.
Right.
And so when my co-founders and I, we really grew the business a lot in 2017 and 2018. And that's when it went from like this side hobby club thing to an apparel company. And then as soon as I get back healthy, I go play 2 or 3 tournaments again, and I'm back on the road or whatever. And the business is going down a little bit. And then I wreck a scooter and shatter my left wrist. And I thank God it was his way of being like, stop.
I told you already. I told
stop
you.
the golf shit.
You
got something going here. So I look back on that, and I'm like, I think that was meant to be.
Okay.
So,
well, the reason, and I hate to have dug into it for so long, and sometimes people are like, that's still a little raw for me, but I really appreciate you kind of digging into that and giving us kind of insight as to how far you took this, so we could understand like the type of movement or jump you had to go to the other side and the type of pain that could potentially come with that. Right. But for you to say, I was totally fulfilled with what I did there, and I've now taken that same energy and I've put it into something else. Right. So you said, when I'm done, what was the idea behind this company you started up, Surf and Turf? Like, what was the real nugget or the seed idea that came behind that?
Well, so actually, I can't take full credit here. So I've got some founders out in California, some buddies of mine. They started what was called the Surf and Turf Club. And so what we are, and we still have the club. And so what it is it's a social club that would bring in members to our club, and then we would host events or go pair up with other clubs with an actual course.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a course.
Yeah.
So we're a country club without a property essentially. And so we would go pair up. We would use our connections to put like-minded people together, especially in SoCal. You had so many young professionals going out there for work or whatever reason brought them there from all over the country.
Yeah.
Well, they can't afford $50,000 initiation and $700 a month or whatever, you know, on
nice
salary that they just moved out there for.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to bring those people in and then introduce them to different courses, because we could probably use our connections to get on about any course once, right? And if there's 20 courses, we could host 20 events, and that was the original plan.
Yeah,
to host about a few events a month or one event a month or something like that for our members. Well, what happened was I joined the club, and then my co-founders, they actually asked me to come on, and form the LLC and make it actual business. So it was really just an idea.
Yeah.
And so, and I did. And so, we set out, and where it got interesting was we would give a hat and a t-shirt to all of our members or the people that would compete in our events or whatever. And some of it was not just competitive events. We did some charity stuff, some social things around golf, but like a little par 3 night course or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, they would ask, hey, my brother-in-law wants one of those, or I want one of those, whatever. And it's like, I don't know if you can have one. You're not a member of our club.
Yeah.
And, as weird as it is to say, but true, if enough people ask you, hey, can I give you some money?
Yeah.
You're going to find a way to make that
work it out.
Yeah. And so it was like the second tipping point there. We went from that club, and then I actually brought the idea to my founders and said, what if we made this an apparel company? And so we have Surf and Turf Golf is the overarching entity. And then you have the Surf and Turf Club is over here. Yep. And you have Coast to Coast Apparel over here. And then the community kind of rests down here. And so it was that moment when we became an LLC of an actual apparel company that has a club. And so it was a little different movement.
Okay.
And so from then, we started to grow organically. We launched our website. We started putting things on there. We had a little inventory. And then we got very fortunate, and we're very blessed that we had such connections in the golf industry.
Right.
And so some premier clubs had professionals that were working there that used to play golf with us. They're our buddies, right? And they'd be like, we'll do 36 pieces, 48 pieces. Let's put it in there, put our logo right here, whatever. And it kind of took off. And we got, one account, then 5, then 20, then 50, and before you know it, I think in the start of 2019, we had about 100, toward the end of 18, we had about 100 accounts. And then I sponsored the North Texas PGA Section Championship. Okay. I maxed out our credit card and went and sponsored this thing. I think it was $4,000, which was a lot to us. Yeah. We had nothing. Yeah. And I went and I made this little, almost just like a check yes or no type deal. And it's like a little card, and it was like, you want the small pack, the middle pack, or like, the whole shebang. And it was like, I don't remember, 18 units, 36 units, or 72, which was like hats and tees. Yeah. And I didn't really give them an option to say no. I just like, I'm sponsoring, what do you want for your shop? And at least everybody picked box A. They're like, I could buy 12 or 18 hats from this kid. Yeah. And so we wrote 50, let me think here. It was 40, what was it? 53 orders, 54 orders for about $43,000.
Look at that.
In about an hour.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love the fact you said, I didn't even give him a chance to say no. There's no box for that.
Steak or chicken? Which one do you want?
Steak or chicken.
You're eating though. Or
we know you're hungry.
Steak or lobster? Which one do you want? Or you want the whole thing? Yeah.
We're flying this bad boy in there.
I think it just kind of, I set the bar so low there was no risk. Yeah. And I think that what really helped was there was a little bit of a buzz of word of mouth, because we were this new company, and like, so we have Srixon, Bushnell, Surf and Turf, and Titleist, or whatever it was, right? Or Club Car or something. Yeah. And it's like multi-million-dollar company, multi-million-dollar company.
$4,000 company.
We just maxed out our $4,000 33% APR credit card.
That's amazing.
With $1,100 in cash, maybe, between the four of us, like I remember at one point I had to Venmo myself like $42, and I sent Jordan, who's my co-founder, like 54 for something.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's all our money or whatever. I'll never forget that. And because I needed some money, or whatever. And so I think there was something to be said when we sponsored that, and we had by far the best display up there.
Yeah.
I brought like everything, right? Yeah. I mean, like I put on a show where the other guy's just like sitting there. It's like, grab your
business
balls.
Cards. Yeah.
And so, we went all out. And at that moment, I have to thank the North Texas PGA, Ryan Kosick and Mark Harrison and Austin Klinghagen were kind of the original people there. And there was other names too. I shouldn't even say names because I'm going to leave somebody out.
Yeah.
But I have to thank them for allowing us to be respected like that and sponsor that event when we were so small. And so the second we wrote those orders, and I remember I had my sister there helping, and then Michael Martinson, who's a founder and minority owner of the company, they're helping me. I had their orders in their inboxes by the time they finished their 18 holes, because they only have like 5 minutes to come through. They're checking in, then they're going to go to the range or putt or whatever, warm up. And so I have to thank the North Texas PGA for respecting us and what we were doing. Let us bring our lemonade stand, into the mall, if you will.
So what'd you use? You had QuickBooks and you just sent them an invoice, or what'd you do?
Yeah. So, first of all, I wrote all these orders, and I'd say the average order was probably about 24 pieces, maybe. But 24 times 54, you're looking at like, and I started looking at it, and I'm like, we only have 9 of that SKU, and I've sold 48 of it, or whatever. And you're going down the list, and like, I've sold 100 of this. We only have like 45 of them.
Yeah.
So now it's like, now I got to go. And so I had to go ask my parents for money. So I was like, I need to go fulfill these orders. Yeah. And so went and bought a bunch of inventory, whatever. And then over the next 3 months, I got Cody Massa and Justin Bates and Michael Martinson helped me move the business from California to Fort Worth, I guess.
Okay.
We're technically in Euless.
Okay.
And I got really lucky. My aunt and cousin own a fuel distribution company there. And so they let us sublease out part of their building.
That's nice.
And so, and at a very affordable,
family friendly deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I got lucky in so many ways. I'm so blessed. Yeah. And so, so that during that time, I was like, well, we have an office now. We have this inventory. I got to fulfill all these orders because I think most of them were going to be for spring. And so, and I took the orders in like September, October, whatever it was. And so I was like, I need an employee now. I need one employee. Who do I get? And so I was like, who could get me organized? Because I'm not that type, right? A total entrepreneur and not that organized. I'm process minded, but I don't do it like other people would. Right. And so I went to my apartment manager, and her name's Emily Davis. She's employee 1, Surf and Turf. And I said, all those boxes that you've been you've been asking about that we should get shipped in? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I'm opening up an office, and I'm like going to take this seriously and go build this thing. I need an employee, and you're really organized, and you're on top of it, and you kind of know what I'm doing here just a little bit, and I trust you. You want to come work for me? And she's in the middle of her shift, the people that work for her are right there. And then she's like, can we talk about this later? And then she texts me, and
she's side-eyeing the whole time.
We go to have coffee, and I tell her, and she had to take a huge pay cut. And she came on board.
That's awesome.
And she hired our next 2 employees within the next few months. She worked for about 1.5 years for me until she got pregnant, and then COVID started. And so she had to leave, but she's still a good friend of the brand. I asked her to come work for me. It's a running joke now. I'm like, whenever you're ready. Yeah. About once a month I asked her. But no, she was the perfect culture fit. And I think the perfect way to start. So I'd encourage anybody starting a business. That first person you hire is critical.
Yeah.
Critical.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So you you went out and found this one person to take the role. You're like, I need you to, kind of button me up over here or whatever. Right. And so what was it like? What was it like walking into your office the first time and seeing like, oh, I need a desk and I need chairs and I need a computer and I need blah, blah, blah. Like luckily, that $43,000 goes pretty quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. Luckily, it was all furnished.
Super awesome. Yeah.
So my aunt's company had moved from this building to the other one. So there was like cubicles. We still have this chain of cubicles, and I'll have to show you a picture later, but we call it the snake, kind of waves or whatever, waves through the office. And now it's like our assembly. We immediately made that our assembly line on each side. So you put the hats there, goes through, there's boxes. We've got measuring tape on there. It's like a little process center. And so all the orders get processed on one side of that. And then they wait. It's called the holding cell, like jail.
Holding cell.
And so that's where the other orders. So if you order something to be delivered in December right now, we'll put it in the holding cell until it's ready. And then we move it across and then it goes through the assembly line. Yeah. And so at the very beginning, we had 2 offices in the corner. Yeah. And so Emily used this one. And I kind of sat at the corner of the snake. And then we had the inventory in the other room. And then she hired a girl, Ashley, who still works for me.
Okay. Shout out Ashley.
Fulfillment, kind of head of fulfillment, if you will. So she does, if you've ever ordered anything from us, pretty good chance Ashley sent it to you. Okay. Yeah. And so she does all that. And then, so walking in there was weird. We still don't have a sign there or anything because we don't really want customers coming in. Yeah. We don't really want people to know we're in there. Because it's really just our executive suites and fulfillment center. And so in inventory. And so we do have a showroom in the front. I'll take in new employees or sales reps or customers, or we do private label for other brands now. And so I'll bring in, the entrepreneurs behind that. And so they can see the showroom, get all the custom designs, anything that you can think of, show them swatches, whatever. Yeah. And then it turns into more of a warehouse on the back end. Yeah. So, And so we've really grown. Now we occupy that whole office and we have no room to even it's a cluster in there. Yeah, it's a cluster. How many
employees do you have now?
So we have 5 every day. There's 5 people that you could reach on behalf of our company. Yeah, that are like full time at the office. And then we have 2 full time sales rep. Independent contractor reps. Yeah, and then we've onboarded another 4 to 6. There's 2 kind of in the mix. They don't even know. They're coming on yet, really. And I want to make that to about 15 by the spring. Okay. Yeah.
They're really exploding.
Yeah. And I've got a key position I'm bringing in. I can't get into the details too much because we're going to do some pretty disruptive stuff. Yeah. I think.
And I don't want to let so-and-so know who we're replacing just yet.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not replacing anybody. I'm adding a position. Role. And so, And so I'm hopeful that she's going to come on. We actually had a big meeting yesterday. So
sorry about that, Ashley. It's not you. Well, that's cool. So when you went from what is the sales model? Do you go to like golf events now or trade shows? Like you had one hit. You made $43,000 on it. Well, plus whatever comes out of that, right? Yeah. What was the next step, right? Like you said, you had to borrow some money to go get the hats and everything else that you had done. But like, is that sourcing locally? Is that sourcing China, Mexico? Like where are you at with that?
Good question. We've sourced at some point. We've sourced almost everywhere. I feel like. Yeah. COVID was quite the disruptive time, and so we had to switch from Vietnam and Bangladesh. And some stuff out of the Philippines to China. Okay. And I didn't like that. And then with all the tariffs and everything that came on, we moved out of China. So we're back in Bangladesh. Okay. We do use local decorating services. We do some in-house. We do embroidery in-house, but screen print, things like that. We'll do we bring in the garment here and then we'll get it screen printed through a third party contractor. And so we do that quite a bit. And then, as far as selling, we do regional trade shows. We do right now between 6 and 8, I guess, fall and spring. Yeah. We don't always go. We may only go to like Omaha, Nebraska, one of the 2. Yeah. But Central Texas, North Texas, South Texas, Oklahoma, California, we're going to go to both. right?
Uh-huh.
And so it just kind of depends on how busy they are.
Mm-hmm.
But at these shows, we'll set up, it's a hotel room, so maybe the size of this,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll set up just a full display. And it's a kind of an intimate, since COVID, our industry, and I think other industries have gone to this model, is you rent out these suites.
Yeah.
And we have one-on-one meetings. Could be 15 minutes, could be 2 hours. If you're Polo Ralph Lauren, it's a 2-hour meeting.
Yeah.
For us, it's more like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they're going to go over their custom stuff to their stock, whatever it is they needed. And then sometimes we'll do design right there on the screen. But yeah, so that's how we do our selling, is at those regional trade shows or buyer shows, what they're called. And then only about 10%, this is a surprise to most people. We kind of started our brand in an opposite fashion of, in my mind, the rest of the 2020, or this millennial generation of online viral brands.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Everybody's 90% online.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
And then they have a few stores that they sell in, right?
Yeah. Brick and mortars are really.
We are probably at this point, as we've expanded our wholesale, probably, in fact, I know it is. It's under 10% online.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in country
Nobody
clubs.
knows that.
You're in country clubs.
Yes. We're about 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about things like lids and?
I've not worked with lids. We had a offer from Academy, which I turned down, as well as Dick's. We may circle back to that in the future. One thing my uncle taught me, he worked for Polo Ralph Lauren for, he's going to beat me down for this because I'm going to get it wrong. It's either 25 or 35 years. His last PGA show was my first.
Okay.
And so he told me one time, he said, if you want to sell to all of them, you have to turn down a lot of them. And so he kind of taught me a method of a trickle down. And so if you want to get in the highest end country club you can find, and then it'll trickle down or whatever. But as soon as you put it in Dick's, they don't want you anymore.
They don't want it, yeah.
And so I've had to play a tricky game there. And so now we're at a stage where we have multiple programs. And so one of our programs will enter the big box in 2026 finally. So
when you say that you are in, well, congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
That's really cool. When you say you're in 500 clubhouses or golf courses, is it with your brand or are you white labeling their company their golf course?
Majority, almost all of it is ours.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the hats that I gave you, these are all custom here, but the hats that I gave you will be like the hat that I have on. And so that'll be Surf and Turf in the front. And we'll either add logo if not all courses want their logo on the side.
Yeah.
Some will want it, some won't. And then a lot of them are like, we have these hometown collections that have really been killing it. And we do creative plays and we specialize them for these certain markets, whether it's pro teams, collegiate, you have an SMU hat here as an example. We've already sold out of this hat for Oklahoma City.
Oh, nice. Okay.
For the Thunder. And so we're launching, those will go in there. So an ideal pro shop, let's use Belmar Golf Club in Norman, for example. We'll do full custom headwear for them. And then we'll also bring in hometown stuff, which will be OU and OSU and Thunder. And then they'll also bring in like a hat I have on and put Belmar here or on the back or whatever. So they're bringing in kind of to the end consumer 3 shelves of product that are completely, they look different, but it's all Surf and Turf.
Well, first off, I'm going to tackle 2 things here. This SMU thing, the paying ponies, I'm stealing this before it's all said and done, but you guys got to check this out. I love the hats that have a little bit about history, a little bit about the if you know, type things. And I love that this is clever enough that I'm going to get some conversation based around wearing this hat.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. So when he looks the other way, that one's going in the back pocket. But the second part of that is, how do you address colleges or professional teams when it comes to using their logo on something, right? Or is it just like, hey, I'm using your stuff. Do I got to call ahead and say, I'm going to use this and whatever? What's your, markup? Or do I have to sign a contract with you? Or like, how do you get into that?
So with licensing, they've got certain brand guidelines and certain marks, registered marks through trademarks. We don't infringe on any of those.
Yeah.
We have an IP lawyer that I kind of consult with pretty much weekly. And so he'll guide me on, before we release any designs, this might, this one might be a better option than this, yada, yada. But so far we've never ran into any issue. I don't think that we're using their likeness to a point where we're using their logo, their marks. We are obviously getting creative, like so many others are.
Yeah.
But yeah, we usually have to bounce around that. We have to get creative. Texas Tech does not own tortillas, know, and so that's nothing to do with their marks.
Yeah.
But we'll play with that, know. And then SMU Mustangs, that, that's if you know, you know.
Yeah. The for example, like the OKC one, right?
Yeah.
That is you guys' mark? And their colors, or like how do you get around that one?
Our mark is on there. It's not even exactly their colors. It's very close.
Okay.
And then they can't own OKC.
Okay.
But we can't put Thunder on there with OKC.
Got it.
Okay. And so that's kind of where some. I'm probably saying too much, but yeah, that's.
We were just kidding about all that stuff we just talked about. That's not there. Okay. So there's things that you can toe the line on things, but you can't necessarily like step on what they actually have. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Cool. All right. I love the if you know stuff. So I'm going to start, digging through that, and I hope you guys do jump on that and get inside of these. But when it comes to the style or the brand, who is the person that's picking out what these things look like? Who's got their finger on the pulse of the culture?
Great question. So I hired this last year, a girl named Kylie Rose, right out of college, arguably probably the best person I could have hired, without a doubt. And she had actually asked several times before that. I either didn't have the budget or I was unsure what she was wanting to do. And so I would say I will hand it off to her as far as these completed looks go. She's the one that is going to be in there playing with the ropes, sending the specs into the factory that, logos need to be X size, or they need to be this Pantone or that Pantone.
Right.
A couple of these hats are different fabric. My hat is a different fabric than this one.
Right.
But to the eye, you wouldn't know that.
Right.
And so she's got to go put the end piece together. She's the architect when it comes to that. And then I would say myself would be the creative vision or the ideation phase of it. And so, where like Kylie, I don't think knew what the Pantonies was. There was a few people, the younger generation doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so I had to explain it, and, and then they'll be like, oh, that's pretty good, And so the creative inspiration, I'll have to say that I play a part in most of it, but we include the whole team.
Yeah.
I let every employee or sales rep or anybody design anything they want as long as we approve of it, and they get one free pass. You put a design out there, especially in sales. Yeah. If you can't sell it, then you better not be designing it, right? And I will back it. And so, but I like to do that. I like to include everybody. We'll name it after the person. We'll name it whatever they want. And so I'd say everybody's included on some level.
Okay.
And we definitely have a kind of a little creative clan, if you will, that we'll send out to, right? Okay. And I'll pull it out of the woodworks. We'll find old friends and neighbors and ex-girlfriends and boyfriends of staff or whatever that went to so-and-so school and be like, what do you think about this? Yeah. Right. And we kind of get a little panel going and see if people are going to like it, like a little case study.
When you say it's a panel to test these things, are you looking for, I'm offended by this? Or are you looking for, yeah, that's something I would wear?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah. The Ponies, I wasn't sure. I loved it. Yeah. And like I would wear that hat too.
Oh, I'm wearing it. Y'all get ready. The Ponies is out, baby.
I loved it. I think that, and I like the plan on tortillas for Texas Tech, for example, or like this funky town with Fort Worth. I'm a TCU fan now after 11 years of living here. Yeah. But I'm an OU guy. Yeah. I can't wear anything with TCU on it. Right. But I can wear purple with Funky Town. Yeah. And support the city that I live in. Yeah. And so things like that. We want to just ask, what do you think of the design? What would you change? Would you wear it? Would you buy it? Is pretty much the first question, And then, what, like, are we missing anything here? Is this stupid? Right. Because if we're making it for a school that maybe we don't have any in-office direct affiliation with,
Mm-hmm.
we could really miss the mark sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it helps to have a panel. I know we did some stuff for Oregon and Oregon State. I did not know some of the things. Like they had one that says FTD for Oregon State, and I'm like, what does that mean? And it's blank the Ducks.
I love it.
I never would have known that. If I saw that hat walk in, to the store or whatever, I would have no idea what it meant. I would think it was a construction company or whatever, And so just like maybe horns down, people may not know in Oregon. I don't know, or things like that.
Yeah.
And so we have to ask people. We try to get some insights, because some are over my head too, and I'm a sports enthusiast.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess you've seen the song at Alabama they sing in the middle that has all the other teams that they're taking shots at the entire time. That's gold. That is absolute gold. And everyone sings it.
Kylie's really good at going online without using our lawyer or anything and looking up the marks, looking up the histories of the colleges, looking up things like that.
Yeah.
Doing her due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helps a lot,
Yeah.
And I know we learned with Tennessee, you can't use, it's something crazy. It's like you can't use X consecutive words from Rocky Top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's like you can't do any plays on that. It's kind of boring, but yeah, that was an example.
That's a good one. Yeah. So you got somebody, you'll come up with a concept, you'll throw it out to your IP person and say, check this over, make sure I'm not stepping on any toes on this thing. And they run off and do their own research on it and say, yeah, you're good to go. Or I don't know, we might be towing the line on this one, and you guys gamble on it, or you make a decision, or does it have to be 100% clear before you walk away from it?
It's never 100% clear. I think there's always going to be arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not trying to step on any toes. We're not trying, we want to play by the rules. We just want to make cool, creative stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think in a way we're promoting these schools and programs and cultures positively.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to infringe on anything, but we do want their fans to have something different and cool.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think there's a mix, a middle ground there.
Yeah.
That can get crossed, but we've never had any issues, and I hope that we don't.
The model's beautiful, honestly, that, for every brand that someone, there's always someone who's in charge of that brand to make sure you don't touch my logo, don't do this, and we have to look this way. And it goes through a panel of 45 people before they're able to actually produce something, right?
100%.
And so they really would never be able to do something that's about the culture of that group, right? You guys have taken kind of like an outskirt approach to everything to say, what are you guys really talking about when you go play cornhole or drinking beer and watching the game or whatever? What are y'all really saying? Because I want to take that mantra and hatify it or shirtify it.
Exactly right. We like to be outside the box, big time.
Mm-hmm.
Our brand from the get-go, I would say we're inclusive by nature, but we want to have something that's kind of exclusively offered, right? And so, we're all pro golfers that started this brand.
Yeah.
And so we're tied into golf, but we're trying to be different.
Mm-hmm.
That's where like surf and turf, we had to add the word golf to our name.
Yeah.
Just to let people know we are a golf brand.
Exactly.
We have golf roots.
Yeah.
And so if Nike was originally track, look where they've gone now. And you could use Under Armour as an example. You could use Lululemon as an example. They all have roots in one area and they spread their wings other ways.
Yeah.
But ours began in golf, and then it's going to go to these others, and we always want to be disruptive and edgy. Edgy, but we want to be classy. I want something that can be classy or can be professional. You could wear it in performance. You could wear it in a setting that doesn't scream like, college ball cap, if you will. But so that by style, we always like to make sure it's the highest quality you can get in performance. But we toe the line just a little bit. Right? And so that's who we are.
I love that. Honestly,
we're t-shirts on a golf course.
Yeah.
Until we get told we can't wear it.
Yeah. No, I'm jorts and cut off sleeves at the right golf course.
Yeah.
And I love those places. Like, let me walk in, play my music, and do our deal.
I'm big on music and hoodies on the golf course.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah.
At the same time, like that, a lot of the things you started out as golf, but as you've gone through, you started to grow this thing outside of that into other sports and football being a big push, right? See, there's some basketball in there and stuff too, but mainline sports, like how do you take that same mantra and put it into golf? Because, that would be great to have some like, maybe some slogans or some throwbacks
Yeah.
that basically throw, if you know golf terms into it,
We have a few. We have one that's kind of a coined term from my college days called birdie hits.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a knock on non-golfers. They'd be like, how many birdies did you hit today?
Yeah.
That's not really a proper way to say it.
Yeah.
And so we would always just kind of turn that into, well, how many birdie hits do we have today, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll use that. We like to play things like cocktails, or different, frequent things you see on the golf course, right? And play with those kind of things.
Yeah.
So we'll bring that into golf for sure. We've got some, and it depends, right? University of Houston, we're doing a little more, or not University, I shouldn't say University of Houston because it's kind of for the Rockets and the Cougars, but that's a basketball town.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're kind of playing on some basketball stuff, more so in that town. And then same with Oklahoma City versus, Norman, it's going to be more football based.
Yeah.
And it's not even football necessarily. It's just whatever the culture is.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you might, if you put something up that's a bunch of trash cans, you might be able to get something that's with some banging on the trash cans or whatever. You might be able to get everybody but Houston to buy it.
yeah,
So
there you go. So we'll play around with different stuff. We sponsored Conference USA for 3 years.
Yep.
As a presenting sponsor, and that was that. A lot of people were like, "What are you doing with that?"
Yeah,
because we're giving gifts out to track and field, swimming, diving, tennis, golf, basketball, football. I mean, you name the sport, softball, baseball.
Yeah. And
I wanted to make a statement right there with our first, I guess, major level sponsorship or partnership that we're more than golf.
Yeah.
That's our kind of our secondary slogan is we're more than golf, we're a lifestyle. And so I think that every college athlete is going to go on to play golf or be around golf in some level at some point in life.
Yep.
And that's going to bring them back full circle to their sport, whether it's through fundraising, through family or friends, or even like in their financial world or their occupations. They're gonna get tied back to golf at some point. But their sport of preference is another one. And so I've been a strong, I guess, advocate of making us not so narrow that we're not your grandfather's golf brand.
Right.
It's our roots, but I just think it's connected in the community through golf is so tied to our game, and then ties all sports into it, unlike anything else.
Right.
You and I we're getting up there. Our days of pickup basketball are
Dunzo.
few and far between.
Dunzo.
Right? And so, but golf we'll be playing for 40 more years.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. Like for me, like, and even, there's something that goes too, like there's attitude when it comes to a hat you wear on the course or something like you want to say something smarmy. You want to be kind of jackassery with your buddies or whatever. Right. And so sandbagger or whatever, you put that on your hat and you throw that attitude towards people, it's like, those are the fun moments, those are the time you really get to enjoy. Right. And so I love this, even if it's like whatever sport or whatever area you're from or whatever, this like, back pocket humor, this like, taking a little bit of slap at certain things, or even if coin terms is like really cool to kind of expand on,
Right.
And so I'm Jones and I got to start digging through, what you guys got to see what I can really start putting in my repertoire. But
we got about 13 or 14 hometowns right now. I'd have to go count, but something like that. They're all on the website.
Yeah.
And we got more coming.
Yeah.
I know we're releasing Texas Tech, but I shouldn't say Texas Tech, Lubbock and Waco. And Dallas today.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of our coming out party.
So what are you doing to really get this stuff out? Like, how are people starting to find out about you? Are you guys doing social media? Are you doing like ads? Are you doing SEO? Like, what are you doing to really put yourself out there?
Well, we could improve in ads for sure. We don't really do that much. We've been very organically grown. We do social media, but we're really just retargeting at the people that already follow us, our community.
Yep.
As far as getting out to new people, that's where I'd say we're different than the modern brand.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happened other than our network of golf, getting our foot in that door to where if we go sell to all of our clubs across the country, we're now selling, I think, 42 states, 3 countries, and Puerto Rico. Whether that's a territory, so it's not a state, not a country, but when we're putting it all of our products, sending it out to that many places, that is kind of our marketing in a way. And that's why I think our online sales are so low, because people are going to buy it in person in retail and brick and mortar, which I'm a supporter of, versus the online.
Yeah.
Now we need to improve our online, and that's something that we're going to do in 26. But I would say, honestly, it's organic and word of mouth, and then putting it out there in retail shops, in brick and mortar stores, and then key partnerships.
Yeah.
You know, Taylor Gooch Foundation, for example, is one in golf. They do our hats. And then we do some large different events. We're doing Sergio Garcia and Chris Harrison's 4 Kids event next week in Austin. Chris Harrison's a great friend of the brand, and his wife, Lauren Zima. They used to be with Entertainment Tonight. They're huge supporters of us. And so like right there, that's going to get out, you know, to X audience that we aren't reaching. Yeah. And then we just hope that trickles down into our sales. Yeah. But we're getting so many more sales that we don't even know about. Good, or if that's good or bad, I'm not sure. Yeah. Because we're not acquiring their emails when they're buying at store. Exactly right. We're not putting, you know, but we're selling it. Yeah. So I think that's going to come, but I think it's going to trickle down to us later. Yeah. And so it's kind of one of those deals. It's like we're not perfect by any means, and we're really struggling online, I would say, comparatively to the modern brand. Yeah. But we're really thriving as far as our wholesale sales. Yeah.
Well, that ought to really tell you that you really have something in general. Like most people, it's kind of the other way around. It is. You know, and theirs are like ins and outs, and they don't have a brand. They don't have something that's long term. They got something that spikes, and then they're trying to find something else again. There's nothing for people to tag on to, right? Yeah. You guys have built something despite that on the other side of that. So when that does come around, you guys do get that together. I mean, you guys are just a powder keg about to explode. So
I hope so. Yeah,
that's a really cool part of your story. I mean, honestly, like to have made it this far without is pretty neat.
It's different, and it kind of happened on accident a little bit.
Yeah, you're sandbagging me a little bit over here. Yeah,
yeah, it's interesting because we don't really market that well. Yeah, to be honest. Yeah, we're marketed well, but we don't do marketing very well. If that makes sense. Yeah. Because we're putting it out there, but we're not putting it out there in a way that people can go catch it and go online. Right. But I think you're right. I think that pretty soon those dots are going to connect. Right. And it'll come full circle. Right. And so I like where we're at as far as from a growth standpoint. I know, you know, as far as just recurring revenue and working with these, you know, some really elite golf courses and golf shops. Yeah. Southern Hills just ordered the other day. In Tulsa, which is probably my favorite course in Oklahoma. And I just think that says a lot about our quality we're putting out there. Yeah. And I would much rather sell to these great establishments like that and partners than online in the short term. Yeah. And then because I think the online will come. So.
Yeah. And once you got these guys that are brick and mortar for a long time, they're your guys.
Yeah.
You know,
they are.
They're your guys. They're not quick flippers. They're not, you know, people that are selling out of their house, or, you know, that they're going to take the biggest buck. Yeah. And you know what? If they don't have that overhead too, they're not holding to your dollar. Right. You know, so they could undercut you and really screw up your sales pretty big time, you know. So once you do have those established, it's really cool that you do have that, you know, that foundation of people. You
I'd
know?
argue some of our accounts sell more direct to customer than we do. It'd be close. I mean, definitely during seasons, spurts. You know, some of these courses or shops, retailers selling thousands of hometowns or whatever in a season. That's way more than we would do of those SKUs.
I love the term hometowns. I mean, honestly, like that's a good way to coin it. You know, it's like, because there is something to it. It's not just, you're not just getting around something. You're really talking to, like, if you know, you knows of the people that live there, the hometowns, the people that know here. This is who we are. We're talking to you. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's your hometown edition. You know, that's a really cool way to get people to, you know, come to you guys for the insights, you know.
I appreciate that. That's something we pride on, is building our community, but also getting to know the communities that we work with. Yeah. And so that's where we're starting. These are those communities that have backed us since day one. So we're trying to provide them some product that feel like we're backing them in return. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like Arkansas, we put the Dixon Street sign on the side of all their SKUs.
That's cool.
Just something little, you know, everybody there is familiar. But people outside the state, they don't know what that is.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just a little nod to it. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be so heavily mentioned, or you don't have to brand it with something or whatever, but just give a nod to, this is you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and we see you, and we're trying to celebrate you as well, you know?
Right.
That's cool. When you get into, like you said, you got somebody that kind of picks out the styles and whatever. Do you have a certain style that you like particularly? And are you influencing that based upon what you do because what you see in the culture now?
100%.
Okay.
Am I using this right? The lemon test, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm probably the voice of that. The first of anything. It needs to be something I would wear.
Yeah.
Style wise.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I haven't gone wrong with that yet.
Yeah.
And then once we go into other demographics, whether it be women's, whatever, that's where it goes back to like that panel of people I trust. Whatever these people that we're asking, I watch them year in, year out be on trend.
Yeah.
And so if they don't like it, then, and we dig deep, family members, friends, employees, whatever it is. And we go ask people that are trendsetters, well, what do you think about this first? And so go that way. But yeah, my favorite style is a trucker hat.
Yeah.
But I'm bald now. And so I got to be careful with those. I get some mean tan lines.
Yeah.
So the perforated look is very popular right now. Poly ripstop or elite performance.
Yeah.
I think those are like right now essential in the market if you want a top selling product.
Yeah.
And then, you know, things like the rope and snapbacks are great. But we've got some innovative products that are going to come out in 2026 that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to discuss, you know, much further into that, but we're going to release some fabrics, some appliques that I don't see anybody else doing. At least we'll be the first or one of the first. And so that excites me too. We're always trying to figure out, we just met with our factory last week. Yeah. And to meet with them in person when they're across the world is huge because they're supportive. They're supporting us. And then we're putting our heads together. They're showing us new capabilities. We're showing them or asking them about new trends or new ideas. And they're saying, giving us the yes or a no or a time frame. And that's probably one of the coolest things I get to do on my day to day. Yeah. Is try to find trends and then bring it to life that matches our brand.
What is the average cost of one of these hats?
I cannot tell you that.
I mean retail.
Oh, retail. 35 or 39.
Okay.
We got a $35 hat here, $39 hat here.
Yeah.
And the retailers will sell that when you add logo to it. Yeah. So Southern Hills, for example, or Belmar and Norman or Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club over here. Yeah. They slap that logo on there and all of a sudden that hat is worth $5 to $10 more. Okay. So I've seen it the high end $49, the lowest end 35 or 39 depending on the SKU here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of. Sorry, I wasn't trying to get into your details there.
No,
but,
you're good.
I've seen a lot of hats that are coming out right now that people are really going for the most extreme material, like the highest quality. And I don't know if you can tell from my accent, but I'm East Texas boy from nowhere, right? And so like I sit here and think about like hats you wear, they get sweaty, you toss them, whatever. But it's gotten to the point now where they've become such a part of culture now that they're acceptable in business meetings. They're acceptable at a lot of places. Yeah. You can go into a fine dining place and wear a hat. Yeah. So guys are looking for these like super premium type materials and I've seen blanks for $70 or $80, $100 for a blank. That to me is like wild, right? It is because wild. There's still, what goes into that to still make it something else. Yes. Right? Are you guys going that route of like the luxury hat at all? Have you looked into that?
Yes and no, but I don't ever want to be the most expensive hat on the wall, but I also don't want to ever make a cheap product. Yeah. So we're trying to sell to our own, if you will. And I don't like when I see melon hat for $100. Yeah. I hate to say they're the highest end hat in the game, and they're proud of that. Yeah. I don't want to do that. If we made a hat similar, I just don't think that that's necessary to sell a commodity like that for that much money. Yeah. Because especially who we're selling to. We're selling it to, I'd say 16 to 45-year-old is our main demographic usually. Yep. And so you're going from somebody in college to to a young professional,
Mm-hmm.
to somebody maybe just starting a family or business or whatever. We want it to be nice, but I always want to have an edge on pricing
Mm-hmm.
over the highest end. So I want to make the highest quality, but for a little bit more relatable price.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
do you think that there is a knockoff of yourself? As I've seen a lot of people build
100%.
brands out, right? The thing is, we always make like this really premium something, or we make something at its price point. Well, how do we keep ourselves relevant where people can't undercut us?
Right.
Well, the first thing they'll do is build a brand that knocks themselves off.
Yeah.
Right. So they build some other brand, and call it something else, and it's half the price or whatever. Do you think there's a price point potentially for you guys to go, hey, this is a different brand specifically, and it is the most premium of premium, so you don't leave things on the table too? Like you're saying, this is our bullseye, or do you say, and this is where we're staying, or do you guys take interest in understanding that there's markets on either side?
The amount of brands that do that is crazy.
I know. Yeah.
And you don't even realize that brand X and brand Y are the same.
I've built a bunch of them. I know. Yeah.
And so, so there's, I won't say yes or no if we're going to do that or when, or if we already have or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that there's a strategy there. I think it's good business. And I think it's a way that you can not water down your brand and then still hit demographics and get it out there.
Just grab a market.
Yeah, exactly.
There's dollars out there in a marketplace that's there, and you guys have the vehicle to get it there. Change it either way, and you guys you're already there. You've already got the model.
Yeah. Exactly. And there's so many brands that do that. Yeah. Not just in apparel, in cars and, whatever, accessories, watches, you name it.
I can name a few, and I'm not gonna, but yeah, 100%.
There's a lot.
It's really a game that a lot of people play, and it's smart. It really is smart to think
good
like
business.
and they're insulating themselves. They're not really just like trying to knock somebody off or trying to, undercut you and say, I could just sell this cheaper somewhere else and, be fake about it. They're protecting themselves, right? Because somebody else, regardless of whatever it is that you sell, whatever it is that you do, there's someone that comes under that. Oh, I can do that for cheaper.
Right.
What's the old movie that has there was something like the 12-minute abs or something, that used to be. And then the guy comes in the movie and he's like, I'm going to make something. He's like, I'm going to make the 8-minute abs, and then the guy goes, no, I'm going to make the 6-minute abs. You guys go, you can't even do abs in 6 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah, that's exactly right though.
But it's just, they're trying to undercut to say like, I can give you the same result for less. And when we all know it's not possible, but at certain points you can go in there and give yourself a shadow of what the other one is, or a premium version of what the other one is.
Right.
To bookend it.
And I think there's when starting any business, entrepreneurs out there, they need to decide what kind of value are you bringing. Are you going to bring value to a market that's at a lower cost, or lower price? Or are you going to bring a perceived value of prestige and quality that people are going to pay more for and not even know why they're paying more for it?
Yeah,
it's just it has to do with perception.
Yeah,
and so I think anytime anyone starting a business, you need to decide where are you bringing the value here, right? Where is your value unique? And so that's a huge question that everybody has to ask, and behind every brand, I think. That's why you have to be careful with branding. Yeah, there's certain stuff we won't do because I think it waters our brand down, or it's like, no, we leave that to go shop with employee or brand X, whatever it is, whoever that is that day. That if you want that, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you kind of jumping into a lot of that stuff right there, but I'm going to ask you a few kind of category questions, if that's okay.
Okay.
You, kind of music you listen to?
Country.
Exclusive?
Not exclusive. I listen to a little bit of everything. Like I've been big on
there's some
Teddy Swims.
Okay. Yeah.
I know he's got a country song or two out, but I really like him a lot. I like some rap.
I know. I was gonna say there's some '90s rap in there. I can see it.
I like a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Anybody in particular in the old school rap? Who are we throwing in? Some Boys in the Hood. I see you throwing that down, rolling the window down.
I can get behind that. Let's see. I like Ghetto Boys.
Okay. All right. Now we're talking local. I love it.
And then I can go all the way to Will Smith. I think that was my first album. And And then get a little more modern. I've always liked 50 Cent.
Oh, yeah. Live Rich, Die Trying.
Let's see, who else? Bone Thugs. I like them. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Is there any hobbies you have out besides golf or this?
Yeah, I love to fish.
Okay.
I love watching sports. I've been such a big fan of sports. So like one of my favorite things, actually probably my weekly de-stressor, at least once or twice a week, if it's not an OU football game, is to go either with friends or by myself and go watch a game. And so like I love this time of year because I've got the Thunder playing again. And then I've got college football and NFL football. So I don't necessarily catch every game. I'm pretty busy, but I'd say that is a hobby of mine that I got to mention is watching a good sporting event.
And you love to attend them.
I love to attend them if possible.
Yeah.
I go to every OU game that I can.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to one or two Cowboys games a year. I'll even, try to attend, Stars games. I'm not a big Mavericks guy with the Thunder.
Come on, man. Well, did you go to the game the other day? They played each other like a week ago.
No, I watched it, but
okay.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
They won. We got the Mavs number.
I mean, you guys just won the championship, and
I think we might win it again too.
Well, we owned you guys for quite some time.
You did.
Then we traded our guy.
What'd you think about that trade?
I've done some artwork for Luca. I've been involved with the Mavs for quite some time, and they've done really great by me. I was sad to see I painted a giant Luca mural on my studio in my house, right?
Really? That's heartbreaking.
I was heartbroken. I was shocked. I was disappointed. But at the same point, it's like I'm always the guy that says this is my hometown. And I ride or die with my guys.
Yeah.
I'll always love Luca. I think Luca's great and right. What he's done. I wish it would be here. But if my guys are here, I'm riding with my guys, regardless. I'll always be a Cowboys fan. I'll always be a Mavericks fan. I'll always be a Rangers fan and a Stars fan, period. That's it. I think you grow up in the town you grow up with, and that's the team you get delivered.
Yeah.
I don't want to see nobody that's like, oh man, I'm a Dodgers fan, and then I'm a Cleveland fan, and then I'm a Boston fan, and then I'm a Yankees, and then all of a sudden it jumps over, and you're like, oh, who won this year? It's like you ain't for me.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
As Cowboys fans, we got to go through that hard.
Brother, I got a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, and they've never seen it win. Yeah. I had to get them to watch the Netflix series with Jerry the other day. That's a great one, by the way. It was
great.
And I just told him, I said, this is what it was like.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I miss it. Like, how did I miss this? I said, well, you've seen the Rangers win, which I never thought would happen.
Yeah.
Right. But that was such a great walkthrough right there.
Stars have been awesome too. They're close.
How do you go to the championship 3 years in a row and then fire the guy? Like,
I know.
I'm blown away by that.
I know.
So, I mean, we got what we got, but I
think they're going to be good again this year.
I love going to a Stars game.
Yeah. Hockey games are fun.
They're great.
They're the most underrated sports experience.
And the temp is amazing in there.
There's something about hockey in person versus TV is way different than football in person TV or basketball or whatever.
I would actually rather watch football at home.
Yeah, probably.
Playoff
hockey's pretty cool though.
Yep. Going to a game to watch hockey is way better.
Yeah.
An NBA game is way better at the game, depending on your seats.
I agree. Baseball is definitely better in person.
Baseball, just walking through the tunnel and seeing the grass and the field, and you walk out onto it, and you're like, I mean, I played baseball. That was my sport growing up. Like I played that for a long time, and I don't know, the smell of the glove and everything is just, it's so sewn into my DNA. But it's funny because I don't watch that much baseball anymore.
Well, I don't watch golf that much on TV anymore.
Yeah,
I'll go one day at the Nelson or Colonial, or with some buddies or watch a friend or something. But I don't watch it that religiously.
Yeah,
my dad's tuned in. He's got he knows who won in every tour that weekend.
Yeah,
I don't know where they're playing.
One of my buddies does the Waste Management Open, like owns it or runs it, anyways. And he's invited me down there a few years in a row, and that's an experience.
I've never been. I've tried to qualify for it, but I've never been to it.
Brother, let's lock it up.
Our bucket list sponsorship.
I got you.
16th hole.
I got the guy.
For the waste management people, we'll be there one day. That will be the Surf and Turf 16th stadium hole. We got a 16 on our logo, and so we will get that done at some point.
Mike, I'll be calling you in a short time. But that's really cool. Like, I mean, to get into some of that stuff, and just, experience, on location. Yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? So, cars, you a car guy?
Not really.
No?
No. And if anybody, my people close to me are watching this, they're going to laugh at that because I am the opposite. I drive things I drive them to the die. My last was a Tahoe, got to 405,000 miles.
Wow.
And I got a Yukon out there, Denali. It's my new one. It's already got 180 or something.
It's my new one. Yeah.
I mean, I drive those things till I run them right in the ground. And so I'm always gonna have an SUV. I do like a good, nice big car, but I'm not a car guy. Yeah. I'm not gonna get turned on by Hemis and V8s and whatever. Or, I don't know. I don't respect cars enough. I'm not the right person to talk to.
That's not you.
No,
that ain't it. Cornhole.
I'm better than most.
Okay, all right. Challenge accepted.
Yeah,
I'll take that one.
Yeah, I'll play. There's something to be said. I think about cornhole. It's a lot like putting, chipping. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say I'm the best I've ever met, but I don't lose very often.
Yep. It's so funny. Like I'm that. And I'll go to events and like barbecues and people's things and whatever, and I'll never lose the entire time. I'll go the entire time and never lose. And then all of a sudden, you walk up against like a pro person.
Yeah,
like a pro, right? And this guy tells me, he goes, "How many points you want?" And I looked at him and I said, "I played the entire day yesterday and I never lost."
Right.
And he goes, "That's not what I said. How many points you want?" He goes, "I'll spot you 11." I said, "You'll spot me 11? What, 21?
Yeah.
And he goes, "You need more?" I was offended.
Right.
I never got above 19.
Wow.
He four-bagged it every time.
Pro golfers versus the scratch golfer.
Four-bagged it every time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm throwing 3 in and still losing, or throwing 2 in and still losing.
3 points or whatever.
Gosh, and it's just like, just bloody nose, bloody nose, bloody nose, bloody nose. And the fact that I got to 19, I felt pretty good about. When I started seeing what he was doing, I was like, all right, I got a ways to go. Mm-hmm. There's such a vast gap there.
Like playing pool with be careful.
Yes.
There's a tipping point there where you have a shark and you got a good player.
Yeah. Or you see someone playing left-handed and they switch to playing right-handed when they turn it on, So, whole nother deal. Well, I'll tell you this, man. I've had a really good time.
Absolutely.
You got a really great story, man. I'm really proud of the journey you had and just even your outlook on, most people could be pretty jaded on, shutting something off or having an injury or doing whatever. But you said my time's my time. I had it. So.
I can't change it.
Yeah.
I just got to own it, And so I was blessed either way to have all the things that happen, good and bad. And it's led me to here. If you can't change it, you just got to make the best of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah. So it's surfandturfgolf.com. Instagram is at Surf and Turf Club because it's our original name. Go on there. You got our hometowns. Go look for your favorite team. DM us if we don't have your hometown covered yet. DM us anyways and say hi if you watch this.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, again, I appreciate it. And everybody, I'm going to be paying with the ponies over here in a hustle. Yeah, baby. There we go. Paying with the ponies. And until next time, peace out. That's the blueprint.